Welcome back to the week of fantasy review and fantasy preview. We got the Mixers guys right here down in Oklahoma City at Chickasaw Bricktown Ballpark right here in Oklahoma City. It's a beautiful ballpark, beautiful ballpark. But enough about that. Let's get into this video right here because I gotta say, Billy Baseball hit the nail on the head the other day when he said this league is dead. Of trades. No, he meant dead of content, and I gotta fix that. I gotta bring it back. So that's what I'm doing right here, Billy. I appreciate that. And let's get some preview action. I know it's Wednesday of the week's two days in, but who really cares about that? We really care about getting some knowledge, getting some info, and getting some shiz from thrills right now. So let's get after it. In our first matchup, we got Larry versus Ionu, the 9-10 battle. Some might call that the battle of the week. I would call that the battle of the week, WEAK right there. Big Green really falling on hard times. Been slumping recently. Was close to 500 earlier in the year. Now he's ninth. I'm a little worried about the Big Grizzle right there, but at least he's got Josh Jung, Nolan Jones, Marcel, 15-game MVP hit streak right there on his team right there. So he's got some positives coming for him. His pitching staff is kind of the starters, and he's got some young guns right there. The dude Abbott from Cincinnati right there, trying to hold his staff together. Still not a big fan of the McClellan trade right there for getting, basically nothing for it but Brian De La Cruz. But it is what it is. Going up against I Own You Anthony, aka last place permanently, but first place permanently in the game of shit talk right there. So Big Ant, I gotta say, Ozzie, Arcia, and Otani shouldn't be your top three offensive players right there. Ozzie and Otani for sure, but Arcia in there too. Orlando, the triple O, I don't think so. Man, come on, you gotta be better than that. You got Nolan Giolito finally performed back like, a decent player, so I can appreciate that. But other than that, man, I mean, you got Montgomery, Stripling, Julio. What year are we in, man? 2017, 2016? I don't even know. You got Julio Teheran on your fucking roster right there. And but your shit talking prowess is still number one, so I'm picking you to get the dub this week, Anthony. So keep it up right there. In our next matchup, we got Password Taco versus none other than Lean With It. Lean With It. All right, so Password Taco, he's obviously learned a key trait of fantasy baseball in his young rookie year. If you change your password, you're bound to start getting some success. I did it. Billy's done it. It's just a key to success. Other than Anthony, who changes his names every week and he still sucks. But you still got Luis Urias. Yakking it around, still strong. Unlike Max Muncy, who shit out sideways recently, probably need to drop his ass. I'm just gonna say right there. But your pitch staff has four dudes that could be number one on most anybody's roster right there. With Sonny Gray, Garrett Cole, Zach Wheeler, Max Scherz, and even Loki. Loki's pretty good. Logan Gilbert, can't complain about him. Lean With It, number one team for a reason, man. Ellie De La Cruz, Corey Seager, and Lane fucking Thomas and Christian Walker, top 50 players. Are you fucking kidding me? Lane Thomas is a top 15 player last time I checked. All right, so everybody go check that. Lane Thomas, top 15 fantasy player this year. It's mind-boggling right there. All right, what I gotta say, staff still filled with some innings and young guns, and if you look back right there, talking about the trade earlier with B Green, he basically gave up Brian De La Cruz for Shane McClanahan right there because B Green dropped Sandy, and Ryan Mar was the first one to pick him up, even though I had a waiver claim in on you son of a bitch. So for that reason, maybe it is a year of the Ryan Mar. He always says it's his year. Let's get after it, Ryan Mar. I'm picking you for the dub this week against. Password is Taco. All right, next up, we're going to go with Dick Sack versus Two Picks to the Pizza, the championship matchup from last year. It's already happened once this year. And if we know anything, it's that Thrills cannot beat Cody Nobles for the life of him. I don't really know what it is, especially when it matters. But let's talk about Dick Sack for a minute. Offense, been doing work recently. We can see, some of those players are starting to do things. Manny Machado being AK number one, and, having Ronald Acuna, baby, never hurt anybody. So I got to say, that is looking good for him. And plus, his pitching has, gotten slightly better. I can't really complain about the pitching recently from Dick Sack. He's been doing work with the staff, Glass Daddy and crew, kind of doing what they need to do right there. Cody, on the other hand, damn, Trout on the DL, Judge on the DL. I mean, Judge should be back soon. Trout, broken wrist, hamate bone, whatever you want to call it. Not looking good for him in his near future. So I got to say, Mike Trout, days of being the stud, number one in your outfield have got to be DEAD. Pitching-wise, mix of old and young. You got Paxtown. You got fucking Kershaw, who's always on Cody's team. Then you got Webb, Miller, and Cease right there. Rocking out your staff. But I'm still going to go throw a pick up the dub this week because it's in a week that does not really matter. So Dick Sack picking up the Dick dub right there. All right, next, let's go with a couple of hottest teams right now. We got Nerd Bar versus Off Constantly. Off Constantly. Team goes as Michael Harris Jr. goes right there. As you've seen, your team sucked to start the year, and so did Michael Harris. Now your team's doing good, and shockingly enough, so is Michael freaking Harris. I can't believe it right there. Kettle's been a beast. J Ram starting to do things, batting over 280. That's a plus. And for a team that's really known for their pitching staff, I'm not really impressed with their staff this year, Stav. I gotta say, it's really lacking the ace other than, Luis Castillo right there. Yu Darvish not an ace, Hunter Green not an ace. Gotta say, not really rocking an ace this year. Newt Bar, you are jacking home runs left and right. Like, it's the only thing your players know how to hit. And I gotta say, Matt Olson and Adolis Garcia, they're kind of the ones leading the charge right there. But then you got other dudes, even Rookie of the Year possibility, Corbin Carroll, doing work right there. And then with a staff full of Cy Young favorites in Framber Valdez, if you look on DraftKings right now, the favorite to win the AL Cy Young is Framber. NL Cy Young, Zach Gallen, number 2 favorite to win the Cy Young. Dude could have possible 2 Cy Young candidates on his team. It makes you harken back to the Bionic Loiza's 2.0 if you're in that league. D-Harp, rocking. And that's Bionic Loiza's 1.0, like 5 Cy Youngs of the top 6. It was crazy that year. But anyways, going in that, I got to say, I'm going Newt Mart. He's been playing pretty good. Newt can't beat this week by off constantly. And which leaves us with our last matchup of the week. We got Mr. Steal Your Base versus Taterhead. Jaycock's silence kind of goes as his team goes. Haven't heard Jaycock talking much shit recently. He sent out some trade offers. Been pretty decent, Jaycock. I can't lie for mine. I don't know if you're sending those out to other people, but they've been rock solid. But I got to say, your silence recently has been dreaded and much missed. We really kind of like the shit talk right there. Still got Fred Dog. Still got Simeon. Still got Soto. Still got Vlad Jr. Still got a banging-ass offensive core right there. But your staff is really only Stride Wright and Eovaldi right now. Not really, that Garrett Cole trade. Could it work out? Could it not work out? We don't really know. It's really, you traded some pitching for some offense. And, nobody can fault that right there. Mr. Steal Your Base, Mr. Wheel and Deal King right there. You need to trade dead-ass, sorry-ass Trey Turner. That contract is weighing him down. Must be weighing down his bat. Maybe filled with gold coins. I'm not real sure. But he can't hit to save his life, which means he can't steal the base. Pitching staff finally starting to show out right there. And, I was talking about Cy Young favorites early in ALNL. Billy Baseball with 2 of them right there. And Jesus Luzardo and Justin Steele, 2 of the top 8 right now for the NL favorite on Cy Young at DraftKings.com. So if you're a gambling man, Billy, get in those bets right there. I got to say, though, from a Braves fan to a Cubs fan, Dansby is a better real player than a fantasy player. You might want to check that. Your infield looking kind of weak right now. I would definitely make some upgrades if possible right there. So let's go back and recap. Mr. Steal Your Base going to win. Newt going to win. Lean With It gonna win. I Own You gonna win. And Dick Sack gonna win. That's gonna do it for right here at Chickasaw Bricktown Ballpark in Oklahoma City. Wish I could say OKC is lovely, but I'd be lying to you if I did. So, for Thrills, the Isotopes, which is actually the team playing inside this stadium I'm about to go into right now, we'll see you later. Take it easy, boys. This is your Commish Thrills signing off.